Hi friends, welcome to Yoga with Marycarmen. This is Marycarmen, and in this video I want to talk to you about one of the most delightful yoga poses I know. It's called Child's Pose. And this is a pose that is known to rest in between poses during a yoga practice. However, it has a lot of wonderful benefits. One of them is that it stretches your lower spine. It can also stretch your thighs and your ankles, but it also helps with your nervous system, and it also helps you reset your mood when you have one of those crazy days or weeks. So let me show you a few variations of this wonderful pose. Get on your mat and let's get started. So traditional child pose starts from this place. So you're on your knees, you're already sitting on your heels. But if you can't quite sit on your heels yet, you can use a blanket in this position. You can place it under your legs, behind your legs, to where you can sit. And then you slowly start walking the hands to the front and resting the elbows on the yoga mat and allowing for the forehead to come all the way down. And this is your traditional child pose with a modification on your legs, on your knees. Now, if your head can't quite get all the way down, you're welcome to use a block. Always remember to use your props. This is what it looks like if you're using your blanket and your block. And I really recommend to keep your hands in front when you're using that block. Elbows are resting on the mat, but then your shoulders are also relaxed. You don't want to look something like this. You don't want to create tension on your neck and shoulder area. You want to make sure that you're relaxed and that you are using your block to support you and also to create some space. So slowly you can remove the block if you're ready for it during that same yoga practice or in another yoga practice, and see if you can bring the forehead all the way down. Same with your knees. If you're ready to remove that blanket, whether it's in that same yoga practice or in another one in the future, and you have mastered that flexibility to come all the way back, then child's pose or traditional child pose looks something like this. You bring the forehead down, and then you can bring the arms to the back. This is another variation of this pose. And you let the shoulders melt down to the earth. In other words, allow for the shoulder blades in the back to open up by just letting gravity do its thing here. However, avoid this tension on your neck and shoulders. You don't want to look something like this. Okay? You want to make sure that you're relaxed, that your neck is long, and then your arms are resting. So I'm totally relaxed in this pose. And then you breathe from here. So let me say that again. Child pose with the arms to the front. Your knees are right underneath your chest. You look something like this. And in this place, remember again, relax the shoulders, no tension there. So you move the arms back to where you can let the shoulders be relaxed, or you can place the arms back. This is your traditional child pose. The child pose that you see the most in yoga practices is called wide child's pose. Wide because you open the knees wide. So let's begin by coming up into tabletop. Tabletop is like this, or knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. But then this time you're going to open the knees wider than your hips. Big toes on the back are touching. And then you slowly send the hips back as you walk the hands slightly forward. Sending the hips back and allowing for the body to come lower to the ground. Notice my elbows are resting, my hands are resting on the mat, and my forehead is coming all the way down, and I'm relaxed here. I like to just go side to side slightly to find some space. Wiggle your way there. And then while you're in this pose, notice again, are you holding any tension on the shoulders? You don't want to look like this. Remember, you want to look relaxed. You want to let gravity help you relax even more. And just like the traditional child pose, if this is too difficult for you to do, if your hips are not all the way down to your heels, remember you have those props. You can still modify in this pose by placing the blanket behind your legs, placing that block under your chest and under your forehead. And breathe. Now, when you have this, make sure that your neck is not suffering too much, and make sure you place the block to where it makes sense to your neck. So you don't want to look something like this. You don't want to look something like this, where your neck is compromised or hyperextended. You don't want to look something like this, okay? So you want to make sure that this makes sense as you're placing the block on your block or on another blanket or pillow, whatever works for you. And then let the hands rest. And breathe. With time, remember you can remove these props and go a little bit deeper. Always allowing the breath to take you deeper into this. I'll remove the blanket now. And there you have it. This is child pose. Do not get discouraged if you can't come all the way down until the heels for your child pose. Remember that time, it matters. With the continuing practicing yoga, it will make it better for you to improve your flexibility and to build up on your strength. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.